It's time. Lock, load, put on your Infinity Gauntlet and grab your lightsaber. This is Nerd Talk, presented by WeBeam TV.
Hello.
Wow, we are here.
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
Can you believe it's only Tuesday?
Wow.
God, I wish it weren't.
Well, oh my goodness. Well, welcome to Nerd Talk, gang. We
Wait,
are
this is Nerd
here,
Talk?
but should we be? That is the question.
Yes.
Or should we be out watching Batman?
Oh, I don't know. That's later this week,
That's our plan
right?
for this week, yeah.
It's not today?
No, March.
I thought it was March 1st.
It's March 4th, I think. Right?
4th, huh?
So technically, the
okay.
3rd
All right, yeah.
is the midnights, but hey, you gotta love March 4th because it is the only calendar day in the year that is a command. March 4th. So.
Wow.
Yep.
That is.
Isn't that crazy?
That is, wow.
That's ultimate nerd.
Wow.
terribleness.
No, that's not even nerd. That's
This is why I
just-
didn't get a girlfriend until I was like 16. So, yeah. Just knowing stuff like that.
And then she was inflatable. But I shall not digress. Welcome to Nerd Talk, everyone,
upset
where we
I
talk
know
about
that now, by the
nerds.
way.
Yeah, you're
And we
welcome.
do
That
so
bothers me.
Yeah, that's one
at
of
the
those
behest
in your head.
of our
Oh, yes.
Warden Master, Chick-fil-A in
Chick-fil-A,
Palm Harbor
Palm Harbor.
again.
Thank you.
Who sent us with amazing food.
Yes.
And we thank you. And you can thank them and thank for us to them. We'll
Yeah.
get some prepositions
Go
in
get
there
some.
somehow.
Use that little QR code on there.
Yes.
And we're not going to bounce it around the screen like they did for the Super Bowl. But definitely, take a look at it, and then
Rob,
feel free to tag them.
Can we do that?
If you go down there and say, "Hey, tag Nerd Talk sent me."
yeah. Give them awesome reviews because the food is awesome.
Yep.
And they love nerds. Oh, there we go. Fine, whatever.
Yes.
Thanks, Rob.
Yes.
Easy. I knew we could. Nothing's stopping us.
Yeah.
You guys said it. I was just like,
Yep.
Yeah, we
That
don't
was
have to do
I
that.
should know better.
I know how that works.
Interesting.
Challenge level accepted.
That's awesome.
So-
What have you been up to, Sir Anthony?
Oh my God. I've been working on a big foam craft project, which is really cool until you have a chemistry fail.
Ooh.
And the expert who told you exactly which adhesive to use because it would be absolutely perfect for that project ends up doing nothing. Nothing. And after drying for 6 hours and you're ready to go ahead and move on to the final stage of finishing, you pick it up and everything falls off.
Oh, jeez.
So you're right back to square one.
So this was foam?
Yeah, it's foam craft.
Okay.
Yep.
So did they,
For some reason, when you said you had a chemistry failure with foam craft, I'm like, isn't that how you make napalm? I'm thinking like,
Only if you mix it with gasoline.
Anthony's
Oops,
sitting here
did I
reading
just
the
tell
anarchist
everybody how to do
cookbook
that?
over here, just like, oh yes, a minor chemistry fail, sir.
that's been the fun thing watching.
That is illegal in 13 countries, including ours. Small chemistry fail.
Someone chemistry fail.
I made my baking soda volcano incorrectly. That's it.
I like that Twitter has become like the instructional zone for
I know.
how to survive in any apocalypse right now because of Ukraine. I love that a lot of
The Anarchist Handbook or
and
something?
military are all saying, "Oh, here, go for this, do this, do this." See those tanks? Go for those twin tanks on the back of them. That's their fuel. You ain't going to stop the tank, but you're going to stop them from going very quickly.
Exactly.
And they're not going to be able to go as far. And I love that Twitter's turned into
TikTok's
this.
full of them too.
Oh yeah, it's all.
They're like bug bombs. They're like, has a neurotoxin inside that's deadly to humans. So they're like, see how that tank, see how that hatch at the top is them?
Yep.
One small arc, and everyone's getting out of that really quickly.
Yeah, I love that they were showing like, all right, shoot here, not there, and all this stuff, and that's just been a hoot to watch.
It's like we have turned the whole thing into a video game that people are playing by proxy from a distance.
Well, and then speaking of video games, that's been part of it. Was like a lot of the news came out early on. There was the Ghost of Kiev.
Yeah.
Our Ghost of Kiev will be.
No. It is correctly pronounced Kiev.
Depending on
K-Y-I-V.
Yeah.
If you say Kiev, that's the Russian pronunciation, but Kiev is the Ukrainian pronunciation. So Kiev is what you want to say.
Yeah, and then they were talking, but one of the early things that came out was this video of this ace shooting down like 5 MiGs. And
First
everyone's like,
day one
Six.
ace in 60 years.
But the video turned out to be from Arma 3, the video game. So,
It's disappointing.
Well,
yeah,
well,
unlikely not that.
and the 13 guys on Snake Island who were like,
Yeah.
will you surrender? F you!
Yeah,
and then
love
they all
that.
died.
Yeah.
They're not dead.
No, they're.
No, they were actually captured.
Yeah.
After several rounds of attacks, they finally did surrender.
They finally did surrender.
But you know what? They almost died.
Yep.
And so that's good enough for me. It's like
Yep.
they survived the encounter. They get to like roll up their health
But
points.
yeah, I mean, we look at this. Back in the day, but World War II or even World War One, there would be the guy in the trench typing it up, and you might hear about it in 2 or 3 weeks if the paper picked it up and if it got to him.
Yeah.
World War II, it would be radioed home, and we'd maybe get somebody talk. But of course, we had this.
So now
is
by
London.
World War III-
so we started having some radio stuff. Then we go to Vietnam, where the news was reporting, but it was like a day or two later. Then we go to the first Iraq War, but again, it was CNN
There's a
was
little
there,
delay.
but they were mostly listening to a map. They would show the map, and the guy would be on the phone going, here we
Yeah.
go, I'm listening to this. And then came Afghanistan, and then we had embedded
And-
troops.
and embedded journalists.
Embedded journalists
Yeah.
with the troops, and we'd start getting stuff almost instantly. But now, even that was still like an hour later, half hour later, sometimes a day
Yeah.
later. But now we're getting it on our phone
This
the
man-
second.
Is the president is
Yes.
Instagram living this is the current situation
Yeah,
for today. So you're like, this man fears
Yeah.
absolutely
Well,
nothing.
the-
And you
fun
know what?
thing-
It's because he's an actor.
He's an actor
And a
yes.
comedian.
He was a.
And he's like, hey, I have faced down some pretty bad audiences in my day. I'm ready for Putin.
He was also
I've
he was
faced down some pretty
originally he got a law degree and he just kind of threw it away. He's like, I ain't gonna do this. He's never practiced law a day in his life and went into acting, went into the Ukrainian Hollywood.
And now here he
And,
is,
and
like
now he's
the heartthrob
played
of Europe.
He basically played Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, but it was a guy going to
Yep.
Ukraine who gets made president because he stands up for what he believes in, and then he gets made president for standing up for what he believes.
I love it. I love every second of it.
It's great.
He's a fantastic role model.
Well, we're not a political show. We're not.
We're
a,
not.
No, we're not.
not,
And you know
but-
what? We don't actually. Our point behind this is we have no idea what's actually happening on the ground.
Nope.
We're getting a couple, snapshots of perspectives that we think are actually coming, but may actually be from video games. Okay.
Michael
so it's just-
says Batman is Thursday. Just so.
Thursday. Thanks, Michael. So this is where we're at with this thing is we don't know, and I guess that's the whole point that we're talking about is this thing has this almost surreal, meta live action sort of thing going on that's more like reality TV, and you're wondering how much of it is staged.
Yeah. All I know is I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
I'm going to download Arma 3 and play some Arma 3 because that looked amazing.
Arma 3 is really fun.
It's
in all
great.
actuality.
I remember I used to play, what was it, DayZ, which was the Arma 3 mod with the zombies. I played the hell out of that for many, many weeks.
Yeah,
and now
it was
it's like,
utilizing the Arma 2 engine, and then
And now
Arma
I'm
3
like-
came out and was just like, whoa.
yeah, I need to go back and play that. Yeah.
Arma 3 is so much fun. Role play servers are a ton of fun
Oh, okay, that'll be fun.
because the online servers are kind of just.
I remember it was
bunch
about
of
the
private
same time
servers
what World War II Online came out, and that game was so glitchy. The best thing about World War II Online was you would wake up every night, and you would have these beautiful sunset followed by 2 sunrises the next morning, which because the sun would come up and it would glitch and come back up again, and it was like, wow, that's the beautifulness.
That was so good. Oh, watch
We're
it
gonna do
again.
Yep. So, gotta love video game glitches. Well, we've got news, right? Well, Dylan, I
got a
didn't
lot
ask
of-
what you did today or this week.
Today? Oh, this week? This week I've worked. But no, this weekend I spent probably, 18, 19 hours in Destiny 2.
Oh yeah.
Getting ready for day 1 raid on this upcoming Saturday. That'll be fun. I like that. I'll have more on that later, actually.
But that'll be good. We'll talk
What
some
if you
Destiny
discover
about
that all this game you're playing is actually controlling, robots on the ground that are actually blowing up daycares in the Ukraine?
I went back to Battlefield 2 because or Battlefield Bad Company.
Did I get
went
the high
actually
score?
Yeah, there you go. What's the bonus? I went back to Battlefield Bad Company just because of all this. I was like, wait, don't we invade the fictional Ukraine and that and all that? And I was like, you're fighting Russians. I'll do it. And I forgot how good that game was. So it was a lot of fun. And the Bad Company characters are amazing. So, but anyway, yeah. So I finished editing my book this weekend, and it is off to the publisher, and we have a release date. June 20th, Erie, Appalachia will be out in stores. Carrie finished the cover. They're going to do some more magic with it, our editors and wonderful people at History Press, and it'll be out. So we're excited. So we can start the hype train soon.
I love stories about the Appalachia. It's so much fun.
Oh, you're going to love some of
There's
these.
so much stuff going on
There is so much craziness, and I barely scratched the surface, and so we're like, when's the next book? I'm like, well, all right.
Well, now I'm going to have to come get it signed to you and my mom.
You're going to love this because you absolutely love Aaron Mahnke.
Oh, yeah.
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 You love his voice mostly.
Very much.
And in case you're wondering, turn up your sarcasm meter on that one. I just posted it.
That was fun.
But his episode this week was about Rougarous.
Oh, Rougarou. Rougarou is
And so
interesting.
it was really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So now I know all about them. I now have the equivalent of a PhD
Yeah.
in Rougarology.
No, lore is definitely not my thing. So.
Yeah, I know. I enjoy
Give
it.
me the folklore, but not lore. But anyway, so let's look into some movies. So
Hell yeah.
the first thing on the news is kind of been debunked already. I mean, we posted this, but it's they announced the new Star Trek movie to reunite the Chris Pine crew, so the
Right.
Kelvin timeline.
Yep.
But then a little bit later, they screwed up. They hadn't talked to any of the actors to confirm any of their involvement. So they were all on Twitter going, we don't know about this. We haven't been talked to. So they may have just screwed their own negotiating techniques.
Yeah, no
One of those,
kidding.
man, that sounds cool. It sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Don't know when they're
By the way, my
out
price
of the
just
con-
quadrupled.
Yeah, exactly.
To do
Chris
it.
Pine just said, all right, well, that's an extra comma.
Yeah.
At least 3 more digits.
How many digits can I add to this check before it looks comical?
Yeah, exactly. So that was a big screw up by Paramount.
It might have been. I'm going to guess that because these people aren't that dumb. They really aren't.
No.
What a great publicity stunt to come out and announce it, and then have all the people go, "Now you guys are supposed to say you don't know anything about it. Okay, we're actors. We can do that."
Well, it was definitely it was an investor call that announced this. This was Paramount
Oh, so it was
announcing
an
all the
investor plan.
Yeah, they're saying all the things that were coming so that you will buy our stock, and then I think that's where the screw up was. So
That'll work
now.
every
To
time.
Anthony's point, though, how long did Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield keep dead silent about?
Super secret. It's like
they were hounded. And they're like, guys,
Yeah.
we have no idea what you're talking
what was
about.
worse was Andrew
Yeah, by the
Garfield
way, it was
was
wrapped
promoting
up
other
a month ago.
movies,
Yep.
so he was on the tour. Tom Maguire didn't have anything going, so he was
They did
he was
such
able
a
to keep
good
it
job
quiet.
keeping under wraps
Now we
until
got-
the trailer, and everyone's
Yeah.
Why did Lizard Man just get knocked out
by
midair?
invisible. Well, and now speaking of trailer, Doctor Strange's new trailer comes out, and they announce a few things. And we'll be talking about this in a little bit. But one of the voices leaked. That wasn't a leak. He was perfectly in it. But what was funny was Patrick Stewart didn't know he was in the trailer, and when that came out, he was asked about it like the next day, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. People impersonate my voice all the time, and
Engage.
it wasn't me. And then
It wasn't me.
And then the next thing,
Ooh, Patrick Stewart does Shaggy.
yeah, and then the next thing, he was like, the next day he's like trying to fix it. He's going, well, I didn't recognize my voice, and I must have been sick or something when I recorded. It's
I would have been like,
really,
they didn't
dude?
tell me I was in it.
Sick when I recorded.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
an oops.
man,
Well,
so-
I was under contract not to mention it, and then they put it in there, and so now it's like, so basically Professor X is in it. That's cool.
Yeah, we'll go over that trailer, but yeah, they've announced a lot of
Nice.
that opens up a lot of options.
Oh, yeah,
for
the-
secret
Oh my
cameos.
God.
Where are we at now?
What a
Like,
crossover.
like, is it like tier 4, stage 4?
Yes, phase 4.
Phase 4.
Yep.
They've just opened up so many new avenues for
Yep.
further
They're
development.
You know
all
what
in
is
on
better
multiverse.
than? Hold on. You know what's better than a crossover between the Marvel Universe and X-Men? Chick-fil-A from Palm Harbor.
Yeah, it's good
That's
stuff.
true.
Placement.
Good stuff.
No, really. This was the mac and cheese, and it is probably one of the best commercially available mac and cheeses.
Oh, yeah,
out there.
definitely.
It is so rich. It
Definitely.
is so tasty. It's not soupy. It's not crappy. It's not anything. I mean, this is
You could say
probably
it's
the best
not
mac and cheese out there.
Ah,
What?
Say it's not crafty.
Craft.
I'm feeling a little crafty. No, there's too many good memories involved in Kraft macaroni and cheese. We all have them, okay? And then you'd sometimes splurge and cut up a hot dog and put it
Oh,
in
heck
it.
yeah. Hot dog and broccoli.
Now we're
and
talking
your mac and
broccoli.
cheese. Yeah, just a little
Whoa!
bit of
You
broccoli
must have lived
bites.
on the right side of the tracks.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the key. That's the key. And then
Oh,
some
yeah.
breadcrumbs on top. Done.
Oh, there you go, done.
Bake it.
So, yep, I just wanted to plug that one again because,
Yeah.
man, there is nothing more exciting than being hungry and walking in here to record this, and we've been too busy, had no time to stop, and I walk in, and there's a whole spread of Chick-fil-A sitting here,
Yeah, it was-
including sweet tea.
Yep.
Yes.
Always good. Always good.
Collection of sauce.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I
but-
finished the sandwich before we even went on the air. It was just,
which is
I
good. 'Cause
cannot
watching
stop
someone
those
eat a
sandwiches.
sandwich is,
Tisk, tisk,
There's
tisk.
stuff,
I
good
waited
stuff.
to eat mine on air.
There, because,
because you're just rude that way, but that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the Chris Pine thing is still up in the air. They're just creating controversy at this moment.
yeah.
And we will talk about another controversy that was created that I was actually pretty much sure was intentional.
What is
and
that?
I think I was right. Number 2 on the list.
Number 2 on the list? Oh, the Galactic Star
Yes.
Cruiser got their walkthrough preview.
Yes. What happened was cast members
Yes.
who have been working on it were authorized to bring a guest or 2 guests, whatever. And so what, in this case, here's a couple guests that were able to go through, and they let you photograph and video and everything all the way through. What was neat was there was an article just came out, and fans of Epbot, EPBOT, they live in Orlando, and they got invited by a friend of theirs who's on cast.
Well, they also invited, like right after this, they invited all the influencers.
Yes.
So they invited
That was-
like all
yeah.
the theme park vloggers, like Super
Yes.
Enthused.
Yep.
And I saw a few others got involved. And so they had another preview
Yeah,
for them.
that may be what this was for. With
Yeah.
this, there's a 54-minute YouTube video.
Yeah, there's a
of
few
the
of those.
walkthrough. Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Well-
I think those were the influencers.
Yeah.
When fans of Epbot went, it was a
Cast member preview.
It was a cast member preview, so it wasn't. It wasn't all glitz and show and everything
No.
else. It was like a cross between Disney and a High School Musical,
Yep.
where everybody's playing to their family in the audience.
Yep.
And they said it was just absolutely wonderful
Well, and
to
then-
watch that way.
And then
Yeah.
what the influencer show was, they basically gave them the 2 days of
Yeah.
show in 4 hours.
Wow.
So they only had a day of time. So no one still spent the night at this place yet.
No.
It's still not, as a hotel, it still has not happened.
No.
They've done this 4-hour
Stints, yeah.
thing, but they had the full dinner.
Yeah.
They all got to eat as much as they want.
Yeah.
They all got to try some of the drinks. But again, no one's actually paid for this yet. No
Well-
one is. This is all the people who've done this have been
Yeah.
invited guests.
But their
and free
reviews have
passes.
been outstanding.
Everybody's loving it.
Yeah.
But again, nobody's actually spent the night. Nobody's actually.
No,
done-
I can only imagine that's going to be amazing when
Yeah.
it does happen.
So we'll see
if
what
these
happens, 'cause
snippets
those-
and previews
they've
or any
walked them
kind of
into the-
indication.
They've walked them into the bedrooms. They've let them see the
Yep.
crazy robot that talks to you on your iPad
Yep.
to talk to you, and it's a very AI-oriented thing. They
Yep.
showed, the show where she sings, and then they showed hanging around with the cast. They showed some of the interactions where you can split off and be First Order and then be, Resistance. And the way they did it for the influencers was they actually bounced them between them, so you couldn't
Nice.
just follow one storyline. They were showing you, well, this might happen, and then this might happen,
And this might happen, yeah.
and then this might happen.
So it was like the ending of Clue.
Yeah, it was very
Or maybe
much.
this is how it
Yeah.
happened. Okay.
So it's still nobody's got a full experience yet, and that's coming because it opens next week.
Next week. that is
So
going to be
the actual first
freaking
official
amazing.
people will be there.
I knew it was not going to be. You see, I knew they were making a point to lower the expectations. If they built it up too soon, it was going to be too much.
Yep.
So they lowered everybody's expectations way down,
So,
which also took some pressure off the demand.
Yes.
Okay.
That
And so
freed up a lot of
now
openings.
they can do a soft open. I mean, it's going to be a hard open, but they can do it a little bit more softly.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a little more time to bob and weave and adjust.
Yeah.
But from what I'm hearing and seeing, wow.
So you guys have your $6,000 ready then, yeah?
Oh, no, yeah. And what was funny about it was like the gift shop, already the stuff from the gift shop is already going up on eBay to reimburse themselves for these crazy prices. People are saying, hey, I've confirmed a trip for this day. I'm going to buy this X
item,
thing.
who wants
And if
it?
you want it, it's going to be $1,000 where it's like $100. But you have to be at that hotel to buy it. It's a limited
Right.
thing. Like the costume shop is already available online, but the email has to be tied to a reservation to order the stuff. And that stuff's already going for exorbitant fees on eBay too. So the reseller market on this is, hey, if you want to make your $6,000 for
I
your
was
trip,
gonna say, like suddenly, like my $6,000 trip became a grand trip. It's much
Yep.
more reasonable.
Exactly.
I'm
if you don't
going to
mind.
make money going. Hang on.
Exactly. And that's what I think a lot of people are following this for, is just to see what happens.
Wow.
Interesting
Wow.
stuff.
Which Disney doesn't care because they get their room and they also, sell the merchandise.
Yep.
So they get all
They got
their margin.
$6,000 and their $100
Yeah.
X-Wing bought.
Now, the other thing
Yeah.
that opens this weekend, we talked about it a little bit earlier, is The Batman.
Oh,
Returning to screens in a 3-hour movie. That reviews have been mostly positive.
Yep.
That have come out so far.
Yep.
It's got like a 91%
I
on Rotten
watched
Tomatoes.
the Nerdite non-spoiler review, and it looks outstanding
excited
from
for
what
it.
he was going through.
The IGN was not IGN, it was IO9. IO9 was the
Okay.
only one that kind of dinged a little bit, just says it drags a little bit in places where it shouldn't. But
Yeah.
but visually it's stunning and all this, and then Comic Book Movie agreed that everybody's amazing in it, and Patterson's okay. Yeah, they said he could be better, but I think what a lot of the few complaints I've read is that him as Bruce Wayne, he's playing the brooding Bruce Wayne, where it's wearing down on him.
It's
He's
a
done this-
recluse. He's been doing it for
Yep.
2 years,
And things aren't changing.
The neat thing about the Nerdite review that I watched,
Yeah.
and it was pretty cool because he was saying that this Bruce Wayne is absolutely not out there pretending to be a playboy. He's not. He is only comfortable in the suit.
Yep.
At any time he's out of it, he's like afraid to be himself.
Yep.
He's afraid to be a normal person, and that is a deeply, symptomatic psychosis right there.
Well, what
that
was-
this guy that is the trauma from his childhood.
What was funny about it, though, is that everybody was saying because of that, he's so close to Batman. How does nobody not recognize that he's Batman?
'Cause he never goes out.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah.
that was
There's
the
no
one
one to
complaint.
recognize.
But
Say how many other depressed people in that massive
Yep,
city
exactly.
there are?
Now, my thing though, I sent an article in, was Colin Farrell
Oh,
playing
yeah.
Penguin was very upset because he wasn't allowed to smoke in the movie.
no long
Yeah,
cigarette.
no
in this
long
one?
cigarillo, no cigar, no cigarettes at all. There was a mandate from high above, no smoking in this movie for Penguin. And he's like, why? And he couldn't figure out why. And it's apparently because that would ban them from a couple countries if he's smoking.
Yeah.
So
That's fair, because a few countries have already made that motion to
yeah, where
completely cut off.
You
It's like,
can't
nope.
not even have it in your movie, not have it anywhere because it can't be glamorized at all.
I'm actually a little okay with that.
It was interesting though.
I'll say, getting the world off of cigarettes, I think, would improve the world pretty tremendously.
At least the smell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing
At
else.
the very
But
minimum.
interesting point though, that you're gonna have your first Penguin without his cigarillo. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but then again, you look at him and you
All
know,
the prosthetics and
he
everything
looks
look
more like
amazing.
Robert De Niro than he does,
With all the prosthetics they put on him and everything, I love that he went out
Burgess.
in that and nobody
Burgess
knew
Meredith.
who he was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Colin Farrell went out to a restaurant dressed in his prosthetics because he was so hungry, and nobody recognized him.
Of course
which is
not.
great.
Yeah.
just
Hey, it's
like that,
Bullseye. What?
After the first day of filming, it was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I want to go get dinner.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get dinner like a normal human being for once.
Yeah.
First time in many years. They didn't ask me for an autograph. They didn't ask me for pictures. It was great. I ate my food. I paid my left a tip, and I left. It was fantastic. I want nothing more.
They didn't even notice my name on the credit card.
Yeah, exactly. See my name on the, wow, you have the exact same name as that one.
As the guy that doesn't look anything like you.
That's nuts. I know.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, people even say we look alike. Can you see it? No.
They're like,
Okay.
yeah, no.
So what was somebody posted an article though, I guess in the chat. Where and when it'll be available online?
This was an interesting article. Did you post that, Dylan?
That wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't me
so it
either,
wasn't
but I did read it in its entirety. And here's the thing. Last year, everything was supposed to come out simultaneously, but then, sorry, Netflix, this is coming out on HBO Max. But as of 2022, as soon as the clock clicked over, it's no more simultaneous release.
Right.
So it's going to be 6 weeks. So it'll be roughly April 15th.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Is when you will be able to watch it without having to go to a theater. But they want to make sure they get that kick. And for me, the visuals on this thing, I am damn tempted to go find a matinee when nobody else is there.
This is definitely going to be one to see on the big screen.
Go sit and enjoy it. Yeah.
Just remember, 3 hours long, so pee before you go.
Yeah.
And bring your bottle.
Wear comfy clothes.
Yeah.
Wear your Depends.
Smuggle in all the Chick-fil-A from Palm Harbor that you can. And
That's a fantastic
Now,
idea.
if you get your Chick-fil-A in Palm Harbor, you can then run over to the Oldsmar Theater,
there you go.
Woodlands 20, and you can just bring the food right in.
Yeah, just
Yep.
because they don't
Yeah.
care.
Well, it's not they don't care; they can't care.
Oh, okay.
They had there was an agreement that they were going to violate if they sold food, and the other food sellers in the plaza, because of their license, their leases, they had to say, okay, you can bring your food into our place, and they can bring our food into your
Sweet.
place, and it's all fair. And so it was funny because I was sitting there, we were watching one of the Lord of the Rings movies, and we had the whole family there, and I'm like, Amy, it's okay, we can bring food in here. She's like, I don't really think you can do that. I'm like, no, Amy, we can bring food. And then somebody Domino's comes in carrying 6 pizzas.
Nice.
Okay, and she's like, well, it looks like we can bring food in here.
That's nice.
Because Domino's is delivering inside the theater.
A bold individual who decided, sat in the middle of the theater and was just like, I'm placing the domino.
For 6 pizzas.
I'm placing the domino
6
orders for
pizzas.
What do you want?
Yes.
Yep.
But
That's
yeah,
great.
it was hilarious. So after that, it was always like stop at whatever was there, Panera's or wherever, or the pizza place that used to be on the corner that is now a parking lot. Very weird.
Remember, I
Five
used
Guys
to-
up the road.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, and then you'd have your bag of fries that's, just
It's better than a bag
Order
of
the
popcorn,
small.
a bag of fries.
always order the small because then you're going to still get 50,000 extra fries. So I remember somebody actually did a test on that where they see if the large fries and the medium fries and the small fries, which one you got the most fries in, because Five Guys
Right.
has the generous scooping, that's
Yeah,
what they
it's
call
the
it.
scoop. It's
And
I got to make more in 2 minutes anyway.
So
'cause-
it's the medium was actually the best bang for the buck. You actually got twice as many fries as you did with the small, but you got the same amount with
As
the
the
large as with the medium. So it was.
Where was this?
This was somewhere online. They did a sort of Five Guys though.
Five Guys. Okay, Five Guys.
Because they always are
Five
just
Guys
dumping the
burgers and
fries.
fries.
But we're not talking about Five Guys.
No,
We're talking about Chick-fil-A.
Their fries, man.
Yes.
There's up the road, too.
God, I love their waffle fries.
they're just before Temper Roads. Yeah.
Yep.
You just
Yep.
Pop
So,
over.
Yep.
Pop over and then go see the Batman.
Exactly.
And
there
then
we have it.
on top of that, now we have, this is big news for those of us in the horror field, those of us who love a classic. One of the greatest movies of all time turns 100 years old. The classic silent film Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Old Max Schreck.
Yep.
We still don't know who actually the guy is. That name is a pseudonym. It means maximum terror. Playing Count Orloff.
wow.
This is not Dracula, although they
No.
got sued by the
Orlok?
Bram
It's
Stoker.
Orlok, isn't it?
Orlok, yeah.
Yeah, Orlok.
And
yeah.
they,
Orloff is from a series
sorry.
of unfortunate
Yeah,
events.
yeah, Orlok. And anyway,
Which I
he
see
got
the resemblance.
sued by the Bram Stoker family because it's so close to stealing Dracula's story, and so they won. So they were all ordered destroyed. But thankfully, they weren't all destroyed, and they're
Yes,
still out
and
there.
we still have copies of Nosferatu.
For those of us for those of my generation who don't know, that's the dude from SpongeBob in the horror episode in season 1.
Yes. but he's.
I was 8.
And it's
What do you want
probably
me
one
to
of the
do,
most
watch Nosferatu while I'm 8?
Wow.
It is one of the most influential horror films of all time.
It was
never been
basically the first horror film.
Edison
What
did a
year was it?
Frankenstein in 17.
Really?
So yeah, in 1917. So this was 1920.
You're right. Okay.
Or
Forgot about
1922.
that one.
And,
Yeah, this really set things in motion, though. I mean, everything about it, the film noir, the shadows. You see,
Yeah.
because what you had was Murnau making this one.
Yes.
And
The
Murnau
genius.
was an auteur. He was an absolute filmmaking genius, like
This
you
one,
said.
Metropolis,
Sunrise.
Sunrise. Is
Yes.
just, amazing.
Yeah, and so it is a masterpiece of cinematography in an era of silent film where everything is black and white. He uses shadow and light to create so much tension. Because remember, the only music is what the orchestra pit is playing.
yeah.
And if you've got 3 guys, and a ukulele, that's what you had in your orchestra pit in Peoria, Illinois.
And they show this every year at Tampa Theater, and it is totally worth going around Halloween because they have the master organist
Yes.
there play it. So
Let's also not act like ukuleles can't be creepy.
I know. I was to say I know some creepy ukulele music.
Oh,
so.
sure, but they weren't going for that.
But
Tiny
anyway,
sound, like-
so one of the first major motion picture classic horrors
Yes.
is now 100 years old
100
and thankfully
years
saved.
old.
Unlike many others that we've lost, like London After Midnight, Lon Chaney's vampire movie, gone. No copies remain. So,
And the Wedding March was originally 8 hours long. It got cut down to 90 minutes, and that's just horrifying because that movie was amazing at 90 minutes, and it really needed the other 6.5 hours. It was so worth it.
100 years is a really long time.
yes.
But you know what
Maybe to
else
you.
is really old
What?
and on camera?
Oh, me.
We have video from Boss Tech
What?
about the Renaissance Festival.
What?
Hey everybody, welcome to the Boss Tech Drop segment. I have got some news for you today. So we went to the Renaissance Fair this weekend and absolutely phenomenal. Great time, good food, good ciders, good meads. It's all there. There's a ton of stuff there. But I bought a couple of things, and I'll tell you what, if you're going to go, make sure you download the map, or they're going to give it to you there so that you kind of know your way around it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the Jalan horn, or the ram's horn. Now this horn is dual function, which is kind of cool. This horn right here allows you to actually drink out of the horn like normal, right? You can drink out of it, or better yet, you can take the tip off, don't lose your O-ring, and you can actually blow it. So there you go. That is very, very super cool. It wasn't super expensive either. I think it was like $125. Killer product. I love it. I'll be using this a lot. Probably not, but I'm going to say that because in high hopes I will. And then the next thing came from, oh, by the way, that was Warhorse Farms. They are the new riders of the Golden Age, and they've got a great little website. And you can actually get these on their website. So if you're looking for one of these, if you can't make it out to the Renaissance Fair, I don't know why you can't, because we're sail horns. There you go. That's awesome. It's not bad. They have some less expensive ones, and that right there I really did like. It's from the ram. I love the ridges in it. It's kind of neat. It gives a little more character than just a flat horn, right? So if you want one, can't get out there, make sure you reach out to warhorse.com, right? So the next thing we're going to talk about is Dreadmore Plunder. Now, I'm not a pirate guy, right? I love this. It's not huge. It's small. It's perfect for me to just put on my belt. And no, I did not buy a pirate's belt. I might want to buy a pirate's belt. I may go back for a pirate's belt, and I actually will go back for shoes because their boots are absolutely killer. But it's just small enough for you to have a little bit of nip in there, so when you're going to go out at night or you're going to go somewhere where you're not supposed to have your, well, there you go. So you can put that on your belt, or it comes out, right? So you can have both. That's kind of neat. I should have went back. We had some cigars there too, and they're really good. But this is from Dreadmore's Plunder. Again, they have a website, they have an Etsy store, and they have Facebook. You can actually go and get what you like, you know. And they have some much bigger flasks. They have way more. They have a ton of clothes, which is really, really good. Now, this next thing is as I was walking in, this caught my eye, and it's a Dungeons and Dice roll bag, right? So this, but the great thing about this is it's Mandalorian. So it has actually the Mandalorian symbol right there, which I know you probably can't see. I can put it somewhere. Maybe Rob can get it. I don't think so because of the way it sits. But this was killer. Absolutely. This lady, I'm fighting Rob. There you go. So yeah, it was inexpensive too. It was like $40, handmade, polished, rubbed leather, so it should last a long time. I can actually put my really cool stuff in there. But you can go to leatherdice.com and carry in Goldschlag and Ross. Yeah, Ross. I am not going to go there. Look at how cool those are. So if you got one, if you need something to carry your dice in, good. You can go down there. You go back to the Renfest. Absolutely, go see them. They'll get it if they don't have it, and they have it on their website. You can order it, and they get it to you. So the last but not least, right? Because everybody knows I'm a Trekkie. I love Star Trek. So I'm going to pick these up because Rob says we're probably not going to get these. So Bobby over at Raven Star, she held these for me. Now, I like these, and they're more of a steampunk side type, but I mean, I got medical, I got engineering, and I got science and operations, and those are absolutely, and they're different genres of Star Trek. One is Star Trek Beyond, one Star Trek Discovery Medical, and then the other one is science. You know, so if you want stuff like that, you can go to Raven Star's website, or actually their Etsy, and they have all kind of stuff. They are huge steampunkers. That's what they do. They make some really cool hats over there. So yeah, Raven Star, and you reach out to Bobby. Bobby's got some great product over there. So yeah, so that's my segment for today. I'm not on the show today, but I want to make sure that I brought you some cool stuff that I found, and there's way more over there. They have swords. I mean, it's just absolutely a fun time. It was a great time. I went with my two boys, and we had a good time. So thanks for watching. I'm going to send you back over to the guys, let them finish out the show, and we'll see everybody next week.
That up.
Wow, that's insane. How did you guys enjoy that 2-minute interview and 4 minutes of intro?
And then 2 more minutes of outro.
Jesus,
so yeah,
Batman.
That's great, John. Thanks so much.
Honestly, though, I like the interview part. You got a lot of cool stuff. I was there with him. We walked around. We drank. We all got mildly sunburned because we're white as hell.
Did you drink all the mead, which is really just watered down beer?
I drank. I drank a honey mead. No, they popped a bottle for me.
Oh wow, that's
very. I say mine was nice.
Usually
I
they
know the
aren't
brand.
so good about it.
I was like, I know the brand they popped because I buy it myself. So I was just like, ooh, and they're like, yeah, there's like this will be $10, and I'm like, the bottle's $10.
Yeah,
Don't think you can pull the wool. I can go to ABC right now.
And that ain't good mead.
But no, it's not.
But the turkey legs are worth it. So,
I have a friend who makes mead, and it is amazing when you get the real stuff.
They did.
Thank goodness.
I'm really glad someone else noticed.
Oh yeah, I heard the pickle guy is back.
You
Pickle.
know how long he's been doing that, by the way?
A long time. He's been doing it since I did Runfest back in the 80s.
I would say he wouldn't walked by. I saw him. I hugged him.
Yeah.
It was a great moment because we missed him.
Yeah.
He has seen 3 of my dates.
Oh wow!
There, and
how did you feel about going up saying, "Wow, I really missed your pickle"?
Yeah,
I did.
That's what he always says. That's what we say. That's what we say.
And I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. Speaking of long time ago Ren Fair people, who remembers Christoph the Insulter?
Yeah, Chris Bielman. He's
Chris Bielman, the author.
Yeah, best-selling
now like
author.
5 or 6 books.
His new book, Black Tongue Thief.
I know. I've got it.
Incredible.
I've got it on my nightstand. It's in my TBR pile.
Yep.
Yeah,
Christoph's done well for
very
himself.
cool. Yeah, he was down at Tombolo Books autographing them.
Yeah.
He just like walked in off the street and just let me just sign them. pulled a Neil Gaiman.
We all
because
do.
Neil Gaiman does that in airports.
I do that everywhere. So I do that in CVS's and
Well,
Walgreens
yeah.
where our books are.
Yeah.
So.
And then they yell at you for defacing the property.
Yes, which is great.
And then you pull out your ID and you go, no, it's legit.
Now, who else has had a career that spans 40 years and has had numerous hits and has never had one controversy?
It's not The Witcher. It's Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Weird Al
And
Yankovic.
how do you
has
celebrate
now hit the
Such
big
a
time?
career. How do you celebrate this career?
how do you know
This
you've made
is
it?
the epitome.
Yeah.
I mean, to hell with launching something into orbit. No, he found something that is more eternal,
Yeah.
more just.
I mean, they just
Impactful?
Stern just did the Elvira 40th anniversary pinball machine, and she's had several before.
It's a pinball machine, by the
But
way.
now Weird Al has his. And do we have the video on that, Rob? Were you able to pull that up? Hang on.
Okay.
But in the meantime,
Yeah.
this special edition, it's $8,000.
Is that all?
And
He's
if
worth
you want
more
the
than that.
super special edition, it's $10,000.
Oh well, that's better. That's better.
Super special.
It's
Welcome
got
to
the
Weird Al's Museum of
actually,
Natural Hilarity.
An animated one here. Take a look at this. This is the Museum of Hilarity. So 17 of Al's songs on this thing. Hey, look, UHF. Yeah, look at all the little Easter eggs.
Oh
on this.
yeah.
There's
wow.
various little, the art from the various albums.
Yep.
Dual ramp.
Jam packed.
It is crazy
Everywhere
the
you
amount
look.
of things.
Yeah.
And see, there's the standard edition 8,000, and it's got some basic speaker lighting and stuff. There's the
Yeah.
limited edition. That's the 10,000.
You got to build it yourself.
And look at the top on that. It's got the accordion going back and forth. It's got all these little craziness.
It makes me wonder because I still go to.
There's Harvey the Wonder Hamster.
I still go to a bunch of arcades out in Orlando.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if I'm going to see it there, just because some of them.
Well, these are generally made for private collections, but
Right.
the big arcades, we'll buy one.
I would say the
Yeah.
one that I go to used to be just this one.
Oh,
basically-
Conan the Librarian on the side. Awesome.
Basically, it was just like what?
Yeah, that special
one
edition
little
has the big screen in the middle of it, so
That's cool.
so it does a lot of craziness. There's multi-ball.
Oh wow.
I am just so down. Between this and the Elvira machine last month, this is insane time for pinball. Who knew
See, that's
pinball was
only a
going to be
little
on the comeback
distracting.
there?
Like
There's all the songs, White Nerdy. Now, one of the best thing about White Nerdy was the guy who did the original Riding Dirty.
Yeah.
I guess Weird Al bumped into him and was like, "No hard feelings." That is the parody. He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, "No, dude, that was the best thing ever. Was because you making a parody helped me win the Grammy for best
I
rap
would say
song
it
that year.
blew
Because
that
if I
song
hadn't
up
done
further."
that song would never would have hit the top 5." So,
Oh, I walked.
but
through
we're
the
so
valley of the
excited
shadow.
about that. I cannot wait to play that somewhere. So,
We gotta
wish
find
I
it.
had the money. It's like, oh wait, where's tax return?
We should be
Tax
able
return
to
coming?
go ahead
Tax
and
return.
figure out where there should be a Find My Pinball game.
Yeah. Now the
Yeah.
new Elvira machine, like I said, Stern announced that that's going to Silverball Museum down in West Palm Beach.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's our Delray Beach, which is definitely worth a trip. If you haven't been there, Silverball Museum, largest private independent collection of pinball machines that you can play. I mean, there are
Nice.
more collections that you can't play, but this one
Yeah.
you can. And if you haven't done that, it's in an old building in Delray Beach, and it's a haunted building, so there's cool stories there too. But definitely go down there and
Neato,
go see
neato.
it. So,
So I mentioned I was playing video games all weekend.
yes.
Yes.
and
I
Such
mentioned a
as-
specific video game.
Yes, it was Destiny 2. I've been playing this game for years now. I played the original Destiny 1 back on the Xbox One. I was back when the Xbox One was like brand new too. I just
Yep.
got mine. Came out, I don't know, maybe a month
Is this the
after.
game that George McFly called Density 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Game's a ton of fun. The new expansion finally dropped. We've been waiting since it was announced back in October, I want to say. But we've had teasers and build up to this moment. I spent the last 2 years to finally find out that the face and name of our enemy finally got her, and then her expansion comes out, and it's a ton of fun. I am enjoying it so much, so
That's
much.
awesome.
Rob, can I have that? Yeah, there she is, Savathun.
Oh, like Pazuzu
She's
from
a-
The Exorcist.
Yeah, she's a giant. That's her before she's Witch Queen.
Yeah.
Before she gets her crown. Her crown's a part of her head. Never understood how that happened. I'm
That's-
like, you didn't have it beforehand, and what, you just grow it. Like, I don't know how bugs work.
Yeah, it just merges with your exoskeleton.
Traveler in the background. We're getting a ton of story because she's known as the Queen of Deception. She plays tricks with people's minds, illusions, like that. Gets our guardian to trust her because she's behind bars, locked up in some kind of interesting cage I can't really explain.
Bungie goodness here.
Oh yeah, Bungie did such a good job because come to find out, the Queen of Deceit has been
Lying to you.
She's been lied to.
Oh, what?
So the remainder, we find that out in like the first mission, so it's not much of a spoiler. And the remainder of the expansion is finding her memories and giving her memories back to her and reminding her who she was before all this.
Very sweet.
And then she's kind of like, it's kind of that I was lying to you this entire time. And we find out the name of the great mastermind, the witness. Looks like Fish from Megamind. We've all picked it out. We're all kind of like, excuse me? You decided it's Fish wearing the black Mamba suit from the end of the movie. We're like, why?
Why not?
We're all super excited for it, though, because that shows we are going to get another expansion. It's neat, though, because they kind of copied the Cabal format from original Destiny 2 and the Red War, where they've taken the light. The only difference this time is it's not taken, it's given. The Traveler gave them light, which is nuts, because they're like, the Traveler would never do that.
Yep.
Now, the Hive are out here running around using our abilities against us, so it's light versus light, having a ton of fun, destroying ghosts, just like they've done to so many of us. It's a ton of fun. More Black Pyramid nonsense, because the pyramid works for no one.
Destiny 2, yep.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, very cool.
I'm so pumped. The raid officially comes out this weekend.
I would say, so it goes live this weekend.
Well, no. So it went out. It went live last Tuesday. The thing is, though, is the raid always comes out in a week and a half later. So they drop it on Friday. It's the same time across the board for everyone, and then
scale up to get ready.
Exactly, and then we do a race for what's called World's First. It is who can beat the raid first.
Yep.
Unlike in WoW, Final Fantasy, and the other MMOs I played, though, when you go into this raid, normally they give you a small book or something like that. It's like, oh, this is like the general mechanics you need to watch out for.
Yeah.
This is completely 100% different. Destiny has always done this different. There's no help.
Yeah.
It is. They drop you in, and they go, all right, have fun, asshole.
Yeah, good luck.
Figure it out.
Kill all the things.
We didn't get World First last time, me and my guild. I'm with the same group here. We finished the raid after about 26 hours of playing.
Nice.
We spent exactly 20 hours on one of the bosses. I don't feel bad, though, because that's not the shortest. That's like right in the middle. That's the median time of how long people spent on that boss. That boss is a nightmare.
That's why I got out of the MMOs back in the day.
I leveled up to a level 2 character in Gloomhaven.
There you go.
There you go.
That was Saturday.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
That's a good thing.
Well, we just started playing. We actually got this really
like
cool wooden dividers for all the parts.
What was it?
My
Final
God, that is so
Fantasy,
necessary.
I forget, was it 14 or 15?
It's 14.
Where the one before the tutorial, 13. Where the tutorial was like 20 some odd hours.
Oh, yeah.
The tutorial.
It was nuts.
That's a day of the game. Of course, that game got hot after that, but I was like, I didn't have time for that. I was like,
I explained to my dad, like, some games have just really long, because he started playing Red Dead Redemption, like, 2 years ago when he bought his PlayStation.
2 or 1?
2.
Oh.
And I'm like, that game has, like, a 2-hour tutorial.
Yeah, that snow is just...
And he's sitting here, he's like, damn, he's like, the wolves in the snow keep fucking me up. And I'm just kind of sitting here like, that's the tutorial, boss. He's like, what?
Yep.
I'm like, it's teaching you how to play the game still. Like, you haven't even gotten to the full content. He's like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this video game playing stuff.
Yeah, it was definitely...
I understand.
Those open world games. I know some people look at these open world games and go, oh, look, I can look at all this open world. I look at it and go, oh, man, it's going to take me 100 hours to finish this damn thing.
Yes, absolutely. I make it a point in Destiny to find places that my hunter shouldn't be sitting in.
Oh,
yeah, I have the sit emote, which just plops down. So I get to, like, super, super high points where I'm, like, standing on a single pixel, and I'm like, perfect.
Yeah,
sit. And then I feel looking up and, like, shooting at me, and I'm just sitting here like, hello, peasants.
Yep.
Figure out how to get... It took me 6 hours to get up here. I'm not coming down anytime soon.
That goes all the way back to City of Heroes days. I used to do that. With, find a super jump spot that I could get to that the flyers couldn't get to, but the super jumps could.
So you just plop down.
And you just tuck in there, and it'd be like, I got you. Well, geez. Now, so we've been talking a ton. I want to get to... the thing that got me, I have a trailer that I want to share.
Sure.
Rob, I'm going to skip down to number 13 here on the list.
Oh.
Because as a comic nerd, I'm not here on Comic 101 much anymore, but
Nope.
I help out occasionally. But this was big news for me. One of my favorite Marvel characters is getting yet another #1 reboot, and they're bringing back Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider. And he's having some weird dreams. Is the spirit of vengeance within him again? Apparently so. So this is they got a whole new team coming on. They're bringing back Thanatos, the original spirit of vengeance. He's back with look at some of this art is just amazing. And of course, they're dealing with Johnny's family now. They're taking him on because he's retired as the Ghost Rider. He hasn't been it.
Settled down.
Yeah, he has a family. He hasn't been this in a while. We've had Robbie Reyes, who's the kid who's the Ghost Rider in the car, but we're going back old
It's a
school.
badass car. I like
So,
that. I like it a lot.
So
I'm super excited. This is super cool.
yeah, the art is
Look at these.
next level. So we got Corey Smith on the art, and we've got so there we go. The original Ghost Rider is back, and Ghost Rider #1 should be out in July. It's at your solicitations now. I am super excited just to have OG with Benjamin Percy and Corey Smith. Benjamin Percy writing. I'm so done. I'm in, and it's actually this month. I forgot it comes out. It actually hit stands this month
In
So,
March. Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So,
Oh, I'm gonna do a copy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and hunt one down.
yeah, go hunt one because I think they just hit last Wednesday.
I have
So
the copy of the. Oh God, what is it? It's the issue where Ghost Rider BC came in.
oh yeah,
Where he's on the giant flaming
the
woolly
fl-
mammoth.
woolly
I've always
mammoth.
loved, like the old comic book 101 had told me
Yeah.
about it, and I was just like, all right. And I went and bought the comic that day. And they're like,
Yep.
it's so stupid. I'm like, what are you talking about? Can you imagine
yep.
the spirit of vengeance coming on a giant mammoth just
that's on fire. Yeah,
Like, that's terrifying.
well, the original Ghost Rider was on a horse.
Yeah,
in the
exactly. So
comics,
animals are out of the
yeah,
question.
It was pretty cool. So,
Which is, if you know how horses are with fire, you really got to like, oh, really?
well, if you played the original Red Dead Redemption and you played the zombie add-on,
Yeah.
there was the 4 horses of the apocalypse, and one of them was War, and War was a flaming horse, which was pretty
I'm sure.
or if you're a Pokemon player, have
Oh,
Rapidash.
now, Pokemon, that was the big news. We don't have it on here, but we got to
yeah,
talk
we
about
we
it.
can go through it real
My
quick.
wife will break my arm if we don't talk about it.
I love the new starters. I'm not gonna lie. I like the little Elvis duck. I keep calling him the Elvis duck.
I like the poison ivy cat. That
Oh,
was
yeah,
a-
Snoop Lion.
Yeah, Snoop Lion. Yep.
I know I'm gonna be choosing the little crocodile though, mainly
Yeah,
because
the
I
red-
love alligators and crocodile being raised in Florida. But he also looks like an apple. He's a fire type. That's my boy Spiced Apples right there.
There you go. So yes, they
excited
announced
for
a
it.
new Pokemon game at the Nintendo. Oh, it was Pokemon Day.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a Nintendo Direct. They just
It'll
did
be,
a Pokemon Day. So
Man, I feel bad, but Arceus kind of got murdered under this news. That was a hard stop for a lot of players. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, good. I know when the next one's coming out. I'm good. I can
yeah,
stop
yeah.
now.
I don't have to play this Monster Hunter ripoff.
Yeah,
I can play-
exactly. They're like,
I
I'm
can
not
play
playing
the real
Pokemon Go
Pokemon
on my
coming up.
Switch.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, there you go, kids.
A new Pokemon hot on the heels of the last one, because that was surprised me. I was like, how fast it was. Normally, Pokemon
Yeah.
games are years apart. I mean, they'll do a Pokemon Snap or a Pokemon.
And some are even so
things like
popular
this.
that they get a reboot.
Yep.
Black and White had Black and White 2 come out.
Now, what is this
like-
one? This one's the what are these called? It's another
Yeah, it's
Scarlet and Violet. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, Rob, what a
He was able to pull them up. There they are.
Look,
Yeah.
if Fuecoco,
Sprigatito,
that's Spiced Apples right
and
there.
Quaxley. Quaxley, I swear, looks like Donald Duck. And
Without the pants.
without the pants. Yep. So more Howard the
Or the
Duck.
jacket, actually. Because Donald doesn't have
he's a-
pants.
Yeah, Howard had to wear pants
He's a
because of
wee
the
babby.
lawsuit. So
Can't get the uniform without.
he looks
being
like
a
a
child.
Captain D's mascot that got
Yeah.
lost in the shuffle somewhere. Yeah, and then the cat is just it's a cat. So everybody's gonna go.
Twitter's blowing up over him. They want
Yeah.
him to evolve into a cat and not a humanoid of some sort.
Right,
They
right.
want that to stay a cat so like a giant leopard or something.
Yeah. And then-
I agree with them. As much as I love Lytton and
Yeah.
Inferna and
Dude, I haven't
Fernaroar?
played Pokemon since the OG, so
Oh, no, yeah.
I know my first 150 pretty well, but that's it. And that was mostly because of the Weird Al rap that listed all the
Listed all the
Pokemon. Yeah,
Pokemon.
thank you. So,
I've played every Pokemon to date at this point. The only one I didn't enjoy was Black and White and Black and White 2. Wasn't a huge fan of those. I know that's a controversial opinion because I get disagreed with a lot about those.
well, yeah.
I wasn't a fan on those two.
Have you seen the new Angry Birds game?
The new
There's a new
Birds
Angry
game.
Birds. Yeah,
Well,
totally
it was
upgrade.
like 17 back
Yeah,
when I had
there
an
were
iPhone,
tons
so I
of
kind of
Yeah.
stopped.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
no,
Star
but
Wars.
but
I
there-
played the first
no,
one.
but there's
I was
one
like,
that
"Oh,
just
that's pretty
came
cool."
out in the last month.
They've done an update.
Yeah, they've done a major update, and it's
I
pretty
love
cool.
that was made by a 17-year-old, and
Nice.
he became
Well, you
a
know, the physics
multi-millionaire
on it are what
right off
get
the
me.
bat. So
Because, I mean, the physics are really good within the world. It really obeys the laws of physics. And so you can really plan stuff and shoot stuff. And now you can really boost up the characters before you launch them. It's really cool.
yeah, and well, we're
So-
running out of time.
Oh,
we got
my God.
a couple minutes left.
Yeah,
but,
do we have another preview?
We didn't get a chance to hit the Spider-Man stuff. I mean, they reenacted the meme because of the behind-the-scenes footage. Yep. What? You're supposed to point. But yeah, it's the three.
There we go.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so that's coming out. They announced all the behind-the-scenes footage.
Oh, there we go.
We got a few minutes. So we're gonna try to squeeze it in here.
Anything for Mark.
So I was just pretty pleased that they announced so many bonus features. Because normally they're going straight to Disney Plus, and then the Blu-rays are just look, there we go.
Oh,
the
nice.
boys acting up. So
They're back.
spoilers in case you haven't seen it. There we go. They're back.
When is
There-
this
there-
coming
there's
out?
the
There it
meme.
is.
There's the
There
meme.
it is.
Yay, they did the thing. they
Memes
did the
become
thing.
reality.
When is this coming out? On Disney Plus?
Disney Plus, it's supposed to hit a week after the digital release, the physical release.
So there's a physical release of this.
Yes, this is the Blu-ray.
All right,
It's going to
I'm
have all
buy
these
it
special features.
instantly.
So do we know when that is, or is it
That's
at
what's
the end of this
trailer,
it'll tell
and I
us?
can't
Okay.
remember.
Well, hopefully we'll still be on the air when it hits.
Yeah, it's coming. I think
Okay,
it's
good.
a shorter thing.
There it
April
is.
12th.
Ooh.
Digital March 22nd. April
Oh,
12th.
crap.
And then,
So we only got 3 weeks.
And then Disney Plus.
Because I have not
is
seen
May.
that yet.
Disney Plus is in
I
May.
got
You've not seen
3 weeks.
You've not seen it?
Oh, wait a minute. When is Disney Plus?
May for Disney.
Sounds like an Apple purchase.
You've not seen it?
No.
Oh,
It
No,
is.
Sounds like an Apple purchase.
It is the bomb.
Very
So-
good.
It's
Looking forward to it.
It's probably one of my favorite Spider-Man's to date.
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, and we didn't get to talk about the Oscars dropping major categories from the TV broadcast.
Yep.
Which is
I'm upset with the Oscars.
It's like they dropped editing. Is not going to be on the TV.
Oh, well, thank goodness, because those people in the background, they don't deserve any credit
deserve
for
to,
anything.
They don't deserve to have a speech. Yeah, and then
Well-
they dropped. Of course, they're leaving special effects because
Yeah,
we got to
Rob.
have Spider-Man
Yeah.
and the shows that people actually want to see
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
you know,
Rob.
on there.
Yeah, Cage. Yeah,
they're
me.
leaving the
Yeah, John.
costuming and all that, but they're dropping all the.
No one likes
They're
us.
dropping documentary and short animated. They're dropping all the ones that.
They're dropping a lot of stuff. Like, it really bothers me how they also will never recognize a foreign film because
no. Well,
the language barrier.
They've
is
got
just-
the foreign films, but they don't.
They
yeah.
is a- but it's not. It'll never
It's
make
its
it
own
a
category.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's why they brought in the popular movie category, so
Yeah.
that maybe people will watch. But no.
Because there's a ton of animated movies, like right along the lines of Ghibli films, but is
Yeah.
even more than that are just stunning to watch
Oh man, yeah.
visually.
just Put me on
That never get
Peninsula and Peninsula 2, best zombie movies ever. If you can get over the subtitles, you will love those movies.
It's such a small barrier. It's such a small barrier.
Yep. But if you haven't watched Peninsula,
Yep.
get on Shudder, check it out, and then you'll go right into the sequel. I promise
Yep.
you, because you will.
And
you'll love
the
it.
only barrier between us and the next segment
is next week.
is
sponsor
is
read.
6
Thank you,
days and
Chick-fil-A.
23 hours.
Yep. So we will catch you all next week.
See you all next week. Thank you for nerding out with us. And thanks to Chick-fil-A in Palm Harbor again. We're out, guys.